going on. Uh, wanna speak on these this Watchers, the Watchers and the devil. Uh, it's like it's crazy, but basically the same people somehow were all across the planet. So, cause all right, in Greece, you'd see Zeus, but Zeus was also in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? He's also basically Thor and Odin. Let me think who else. Like the dude with the Horus Hulk face. You know what I'm saying? Of the Egyptians. Uh, the Chinese, you got the Immortals, and I'm thinking the Immortals are just the same thing as the pantheon of gods of the Greeks. And then you also have, like, for instance, Shiva's known as the Destroyer and Kali as well. But also Apollyon. Apollo is known as the Destroyer in the Bible. So it's showing you it's showing you these things. Like there's an elephant with an axe in its nose that's called Genghis or something like that. That's the Destroyer as well. So it's basically like the Hindus are almost like describing the same person, but his many personalities, which would go to explain once again Eddie Murphy and the Clumps, and also that there's male and female expressions of the same deities, which is kind of this weirdness that's out here. Because I mean, I'm not sure if angels might be hermaphrodites. That's what it is. It's not that. They could go either way because they're shapeshifters potentially. So you know what I'm saying? People could come in representation of themselves, but through another, like a messenger. Which that's what the word angel means. It means messenger. So a messenger is normally, it means like a messenger from the spirit world, or another dimension, from heaven. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, even the fallen angels still can enter the heavens, which is kind of like the atmosphere, not necessarily deep beyond space and time. That's supposedly they're kicked out of there, but I'm not sure if Satan can still move in between, because it says there's a point, like right soon, any day, we should see Satan befall as lightning, and we should see an antichrist figure. But once again, it's like the Vatican. All their statues of Peter, that's really Zeus. That's Jupiter. Romans, there you go. There's another, like, they're Jupiter, and Saturn is basically Zeus. I mean, I might be off on some points here, but the basis is true there, that all these people have different names, and they're all around the planet. Now, there's two ways this could be. This could be from people from, let's say, traders or adventurers, explorers. Say they came to primitive cultures and they exchanged ideas. So these people they got told these tales, and they were like, oh, that is an awesome tale. And then they tell it in their own language. So it varies slightly, but it's basically, it comes from the same knowledge base. I mean, basically, you could say Zeus was the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki, or actually, basically, Nimrod is Gilgamesh. You know what I'm saying? Basically, so that's your equivalent. And what Nimrod do? He rediscovered how to communicate with the Watchers. You know what I'm saying? They're demons. See, it says in the Bible that the demons specifically are assigned to Satan. So it does say that that there's a hierarchy there. And but another thing, it's like, how come the Mayans had the same pyramid as the Egyptians? You know what I'm saying? And this complex, weird worship of the dead. You know what I'm saying? They had other weirdness. Like there's indicators that you're dealing with the mystery religions, because they really like to muddy the waters when it comes to what death is. They don't really know, because they don't have a really expected end, because it says all spirits and angels that are fallen, they're just like cops. Their whole job is just to lie to you. Cops and lawyers, they lie. That's their job. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly why it says choose the right to remain silent. You know what I'm saying? And lawyers, they say you're innocent when you're guilty. Or in some cases, prosecutors, which are lawyers, say you're guilty when you're innocent. So just because it looks good on paper, they need to look like they're doing their job. So you're a sacrificial lamb in a lot of cases. But you got this Anunnaki and the Hopi people have these deities that they used to come through gates and portals, which are called the ant people. So, and what was there? Here's a telltale sign that the Watchers are around, is that they have advanced astronomy knowledge, archaeoastronomy. They can build their buildings to mimic the heavens, which is what their whole worship and what they taught mankind is this is part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's what they do in order to get you to rebel against God. They come and give you this information and say, oh, the universe is God. You know what I'm saying? Because why they're doing that is because they're condemned. So they therefore come and trick men and try to get us to willingly pursue our own self-destruction. This is not even just the destruction of our body. It's the destruction of our soul. That's really what they are. They're soul assassins, soul saboteurs. And they do come offering gifts, gifts of knowledge, gifts of things. You know what I'm saying? That maybe because this world, really, the Lord of this world, our material world, is the devil. You know what I'm saying? So the devil can bestow upon you grace in his kingdom. I mean, because that's what he said, he will become like God. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, he promises, he vows that he will overthrow. But then, Isaiah says, no, but you won't. You'll be brought even lower. So it's crazy, but Zeus can be Horus, he can be Odin, he can be Quetzalcoatl. You know what I'm saying? They could be the immortals in China, and Japan's got a similar pantheon of gods. And then the Vatican and Rome had their same pantheon of gods. Mithraism is one of them. The reincarnated sun, and that's due to the bull, and then that ties back into Moloch worship. You know what I'm saying? It's like they start off doing animal sacrifices, but they don't. That's not good enough, because the spirits demand more. They need innocent blood, because that's the biggest offense that you can get is spilling innocent blood. And that's exactly why they do it, because it opens gates. It says when you spill innocent blood, when murdered blood hits the ground, it defileth the land. And it says that the force there is not right. And I think that's in Jeremiah, but it could be in Daniel. You know what I'm saying? Those prophet books are big, long, and it's hard to retain the full information. So that's why sometimes you can't remember exactly which prophet said it, because they all ducktail in and out of one another anyway, and they all reconfirm one another, and they're speaking from the same sources. Though the people that were chosen to speak, they're different people, but the source is the same. That's why they all ducktail, and that takes supernatural. That means someone's tapping into something that's outside of us, which is, it's God. And or the will of God. You know what I'm saying? Because man can't directly look at God, because he's so pure, and we're so material that when we gaze upon it, the body dies. Because it takes your soul to see God. You know what I'm saying? So your physical, though, isn't needed. That's what's stopping us, is our body. That's why we always vanity, food, money, attention, things of this nature is what stops us from going spiritual, is that the cravings of the body and the mind, the heart and the mind and the skin, you know what I'm saying, the senses. So don't get tricked by these same people through your senses, through the brain, you know, that, or that heart, because they'll tell you good things that sound good, but they can lie. So that's whenever you hear someone tell you too good of a thing, it's probably not true. When someone tells you something really bad, sometimes it's just over speculation. Sometimes it's that person telling you the truth, because it's harder to tell someone something that isn't good. You know what I'm saying? Because no one wants to think that. But sometimes that's exactly what's going on. And the prophets were always right on the cutting edge. They came, they told people to repent, pointed out. It's like they weren't pointing out individuals; they were pointing out systems that individuals set in place. Is really what it is. So when you attack the system and you attack everyone who is profiting and benefiting from that system, so you make it's like this: all prophets, Jesus, and a lot of people throughout all society, not just Christians in general. It's we always die for political reasons. I mean, this is what it is. When a religion turns totally political, that's what happens in Nazi. That's what happened in Nazi Germany. It wasn't no religion. It was a super dark religion that was fused with a political ideology. Same thing here: National Socialism, communism. I mean, Karl Marx said it himself. He was following the devil. He was doing the devil's work. You know what I'm saying? That's what he knew. And so these people, they give you these statism, religion, religious, pseudo-religious, quasi-religious, just ugly, the state is God, you know what I'm saying, or the ruler of the state, the emperor is God. That's what happens when these political ideologies turn religious, and that's what we got going on. I mean, they act like they're non-religious, but they're very religious. They're just religious towards Satanism, Luciferianism, towards humanism, and statism. You confuse all these together because these are all your elements that are within this New World Order. Each person's got his own selfish, vain reason why he's trying to get these top slots. There's going to be 10 God Kings on Earth, you know what I'm saying, at some point. And the Vatican, he's coming out shaking hands with China, saying that they're all out state, and now they want a global government and a one world leader. So is it the Pope? I don't know. I mean, it's weird. It's hard to pin the tail on the Antichrist and the false prophet, because I mean, though these leaders we have now fit the bill, but it'd be so clever for them to fit the bill so well that that's actually hiding the true person. But I don't know. Like, you gotta keep watching, because these things are unfolding as we sit and as we speak and as we are watching something else. It's so much is happening that while you're watching one thing, another thing is happening simultaneously. That's just how it is. So you're missing something. That's why everyone needs to kind of reinforce each other what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Bring into remembrance, review, just give people what you've seen, your view of the situation, and it'll help us all get a greater picture. Because alone we only have two eyes and one mind, but all together, you know, it's a whole body of a movement that's worldwide. It's not restricted to geographic or geopolitical places. It's different. And you know, that's tap into the church internet, basically, is what I'm saying there. The internet of the church, which is, it's a spiritual thing, but it's also a physical thing, because we're out here in physical bodies in a physical world trying to make a positive effect for the kingdom of God, not for the kingdom of this earth, because this kingdom of this earth, man, has went totally to the dark side, totally compromised, just like all the people who, like the Mayans, man. It won't be long till we see blood sacrifices, like on TV, in our streets, in FEMA camps. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see bad things. So you might as well just prepare yourself for it, and inside. And then go study these things out. If that sounds crazy, well, be not deceived.